Uh, sir, strengthening infrastructure, in my opinion, I'm telling, strengthening infrastructure across the country is a welcome measure. And also, the projects announced is mostly among the coal-bound states of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, West Bengal, Assam. Yeah, and do you really see what do you think will be the timeline of these projects as strengthening infrastructure is very important at this point of time for us to take the complete benefit of luring manufacturing companies from China into India rather than in going to other countries.
To answer your first part, politics, of course, has its own. There are reasons why you call that there is investment being planned in the coal-bound states. I would not say that's true. What the politicians are doing is they are highlighting those projects. It doesn't mean that there is no development or less development happening, say in the state of Maharashtra, or say where there's no election for the next 3 years in the office. It's just that they don't do tom tom about it, but they just want to go on that stage in West Bengal right now and talk of this of the investments that the government is doing, or the spend that the government is doing is West Bengal for obvious reasons. I don't think one should take too much light into it as far as the macroeconomics is concerned. While yes, investments, the investment that needs to happen into certain infra projects, especially I would say ports, airports. Like today, I can give you an example. The Mumbai airport is now stalled in a way because of COVID. Now, COVID has not just because COVID stopped the work, but COVID has reduced the international travel into Mumbai city. So the airport operator, which is Mial in this case, has said that they would not see the usage of that airport till 2024, which actually was supposed to start in 2022. Now, these are things that do take place, and that delays investment. I don't think because traffic is limiting, we should delay a project. It should not happen, but it's happening because I don't know for what reason this is happening, but it is happening because the operator, we are privatizing the airport, but the privatized airport operator, who also has a stake into the new Bombay airport, is saying that we are okay if there's a delay of a couple of years. I don't think we should delay any project, because delaying a project will lead to people going out of the country to various other countries that are there. Our port situations is not, it requires a lot of development. Of course, roads need tremendous amount of development. A lot of work is happening on roads, there's no doubt about it. But as much as we do is less, because there's so much more to do. Railways needs to be done. Our rail coverage has improved over the last 5-7 years, but needs to improve more. We are building dedicated freight corridors, but they are right now happening in only major metros getting connected. They need to be done for smaller cities and towns. So all of this development is required to be done sooner than later, and only then will you get investments from countries, from foreign, with foreign investment coming into FDI, directly coming into industry. We've got a lot of FDI in the automobile sector in the last 5-7 years. We're getting now in the mobile phone telephony. Why? There's so many other industries which you can go into.
That's really great. And you did, in answering the second question, you did mention the liquidity part of the recent bull run in the stock market. We have seen, I've been reading some news reports like, for example, Gujarat Gas has been performing very well, over 22% since the budget was announced. And people have been talking about such so many other stocks as well. So you really think this is just that exodus of budget being announced in the beginning of the month and that is just continuing? And how long you think this is going to continue?
Well, that's anybody's guess. Personally, I would not like to comment stock specific, except for one stock which I don't mind commenting on, State Bank of India, because it's the largest bank in the country. It's almost like it is a PSU, of course. If you're talking of Gujarat Gas, I'd rather talk of State Bank, which has gone up 33% after the budget. It's not gone up because of no reason. I always thought it was a undervalued stock. there was suddenly people saw valuation because the government decided to disinvest in two public sector banks. I'm not saying State Bank is going to get disinvested, but they suddenly saw value in the PSU bank space. And State Bank was the first bank that one would buy at such low valuation. Today, you get a very good dividend yield at 300 rupees, which the price was for almost. I mean, it did not go up more than 300 or around in and around 300 for almost 4 or 5 years. So, see, specific stocks, if one talks of, or the stock market in general, if you talk of, there are a lot many factors that drive it. Yes, the current highs don't seem to be, one would say digestible because they seem to have run up in a very short time, and that too in COVID times. But internationally, US has happened. The American market has gone up tremendously as well. So it's not just that the valuation plays in is here in the Indian stock market. There is huge amount of liquidity which is definitely driving it. Today, where would you and me put money? FD rates 3-4%. Property rates, no real return. Interest, no interest available through any other source. Rent, where are you going? What are the rent yields? 1%, 2%. Precious metal, gold 50,000, silver 75,000. Where are you going to put your money? If you have liquid money, where are you going to put it? The easy and the simplest way in and out for people is the stock market and the mutual funds. So that is where people are putting their money. They're all and the markets are performing, so they feel they're going to get returns. I just hope it doesn't crash someday. I mean, there is inherent strength because money has come. If you see every month on month for the last 6 months, we're seeing domestic mutual funds selling. They're having negative flows month on month, and every month the sales are higher and higher. But foreign funds keep on increasing month on month again. So there is liquidity that is taking over from the other. So it's like if domestic investors are selling, then foreign investors are coming in. Hopefully, when foreign investors sell, domestic investors will be there standing to buy them. I mean, it's a hope. At the same time, there will be performance of the Indian industry because we all know and we all believe that the next 2 years, once this COVID thing, which is almost hopefully the next 3-4 months, we should be over it with vaccination coming in. We all expect huge growth because we all expect 10%, 11% growth at least in the next year, as in this financial year coming 21, 22, and similarly around next year. So if everything has to grow at that pace, there will be valuation in the underlying stock. So maybe by then that catches up. So I'm not pessimistic. I don't, but yes, one has to be cautious. Yes, liquidity is driving the markets currently, but selective. But at the same time, if you see mid caps, there are a lot of mid caps which have not performed because they've not been identified yet. There are a lot of value stories in the market yet, so one can easily go and find them out.
So, sir, it was a pleasure having you in this conversation. So you've given some more insights into the financial angle and the economic angle of the budget. So
Yeah,
we would like to have more conversations with you of this sort in the coming days as well.
So it's always interesting to share our views, except that we're happier having a couple of people to discuss and share views and exchange views rather than just being one-sided. Because there should be people confronting you saying that no, you're wrong and you're right.
That's right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching this. So let us hope more from Mr. Prashant Sarokee. Thank you.